Welcome back to the art room, everybody. This is going to be day 2 of our painting center. Today is going to be a tool day. We've got a lot of different variety of handmade tools and things that you wouldn't typically see and think, oh, I could use that to paint with. So very first thing you're going to do is, again, go over by the window area where all the pencils are, write your name, your teacher code, flip that paper over. Today you're going to be walking around with your mat. This is the plastic mat, not the paper mat, because it's more flat, it doesn't bow. Very first thing I would like you to do is, because we're not painting with a paintbrush today, but I would like you to have somewhat of a background, and I would like you to try using one of the brayers. So this is just going to be a dry run, there's no paint out right now on the trays, and I do have everything on a tray as part of our center. And you're just going to roll this into the paint, and you can mix, if there's two colors there, you can blend them together to see what they can make. And those are going to be ones that you are allowed to mix together. For example, I will be putting yellow and green together. This is a secondary, this is a primary, but because they are next to each other on the color wheel, we can mix them. So those are going to be some examples. Also just some examples of black and white being together to make gray. But like I said, I'd like to prep your background a little bit. Roll this on, just a light coverage. Anytime we're doing this kind of paint, we don't want to saturate and have a lot of goopy paint. Keep it kind of thin. You can always go back over it. And then you do have the option, if you like the way it looks, or if you want to use some plastic wrap, you can cover it and squish it down, then peel that back and leave that for the next person. And then from there, I would like you to move on to another section. And here's some examples of what we have. Here's some handmade paint brushes. It's a stick with some rubber bands. Again, the colors that are on the tray you can mix together. Some other handmade pieces are paper towel rolls, and they are cut so you can dip, almost like a print. You can print them on. There are two different sizes. One's longer, one's shorter. Okay. Another idea that was handmade. Using Q-tips, you can use them by themselves, single, just one single one, or you can dip them in there and brush on lines. You could do a bunch and dab them on. You could do something circular. These are things that you guys can hand make in the art room as part of your tools for the paint center. My last handmade one. This is a rolling pin inside for the Play-Doh, but this is bubble wrap. So you can just roll the paint in. This is where you're going to get a little messy. Hopefully you just kind of keep your fingers on the edge like this and roll it, almost like corn on the cob. Roll it in the paint, roll it across. It gets neat effects that way as well. Okay, here's some different scrapers. We have ones that are regular, typical art ones. So this might be good right after you do the brayer. Kind of roll that in. If you want more of a line background, here's some more solid ones. You can use them on their side as well. Some non-traditional ones would be forks. Forks are good for scraping as well. And combs will give a really neat, almost optical illusion 3D effect. And my last one are different types of cups, lids, and I found some rings. So doing the paint edge, you could dip it in the paint, print it. Same thing with smaller cups here as well. I thought marker lids would be a good addition to that as well. Some prints. So these are all circular. And then I found these rings, which are going to be thicker. Dip them in the paint and print as well. So I recommend more the rolling, the scraping, and then the printing on the top. Okay, all right, let's make some amazing artwork today. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, here is an example of where I used all the tools to make one painting. You got to know kind of when to stop before you get too much. Too much can be too distracting. Here I've got the rubber band paint. Here's the paper towel tubes where they're like almost like a flower. Right in here we have the Q-tips. Here's where the cups are and the big ring. On the side, I use some of the scrapers. I use some combs here with the darker kind of burnt brown orange. Okay, and one last thing we're going to be doing is during cleanup, my husband and I made kind of a cleanup wrap, if you will. And it's a saying that says, stop it, drop it, stand up, and pop it. So that's when you hear this ringtone, it's in place of my alarm that it is time to clean up. So stop it means exactly that. Stop what you're doing, stop talking, stop moving. And then next is drop it. I need you to drop, let go of whatever it is you have in your hand that you're working with. At that point is over. We have to stop and move on for cleanup. And then we have stand up. It's the same thing as you standing up, pushing in your chair, stand behind your chair. Also, stay behind your chair. I have a lot of kids coming up showing me artwork or asking questions or moving to the sinks or the dry rack. You need to stay put during that time. And lastly, the pop it, because you should not have anything in your hand. It is just a clap, putting your hands together. And we don't want repeated claps. Just one time and your hands should stay together during those instructions. All right, thank you.